7 unique exercises to double circulation and strength in your legs. Did you know that more than 60% of people over 50 years old suffer from circulation problems in their legs? A study from the American Heart Association revealed that poor circulation is responsible for more than 3 million deaths annually worldwide, and the symptoms begin silently: cold feet, tingling, nighttime cramps, and that constant feeling of heavy legs. But the real danger is in what you don't see: blood clots forming, varicose veins worsening, and the risk of deep vein thrombosis increasing with each day of inactivity. The reality is harsh. Your legs contain more than 62,000 miles of blood vessels that are literally dying from lack of proper movement. That's why today you'll see 7 specific exercises capable of doubling your circulation and leg strength in just weeks. These are strategic movements that attack the problem from angles that conventional programs completely ignore. Before we begin, please tell us through the comments your name and the city where you're watching our content from. We'd love to know. Exercise number 7. Lying leg scissors. This exercise creates a rhythmic pumping effect that dramatically improves blood flow through a fascinating mechanism. When you alternate your legs in a scissor motion, you're creating a dynamic contraction that compresses and decompresses the leg veins alternately, functioning as a natural muscular pump. This process forces blood to circulate more intensely, especially in the deep veins of the thighs and hips, regions where blood tends to stagnate in sedentary people. The constant movement also stimulates the release of nitric oxide in the blood vessel walls, a substance that dilates the arteries and further improves flow. The muscles primarily worked are the lower rectus abdominis, the hip flexors, the rectus femoris, and the entire quadriceps, in addition to requiring activation of the core stabilizers to keep the lower back protected. To execute correctly, lie on your back on a mat with your hands positioned under your glutes to give support to the pelvis. Lift both legs about 12 inches from the floor, keeping your legs completely extended and feet pointing forward. Alternate your legs up and down in a fluid scissor motion, where one leg rises while the other descends, always maintaining the same distance from the ground. The secret is to keep your lower back pressed against the floor during the entire movement, preventing it from curving excessively. Start by holding the position and doing the movement for 15 to 20 seconds, rest for 30 to 45 seconds, and repeat. As you gain conditioning, gradually increase up to 45 to 60 seconds per set. Do 2 to 3 sets in total. The main mistakes to avoid are allowing the lower back to lift from the floor, which transfers the work to the back and increases injury risk. Bending the knees during execution, doing the movement too fast, losing control, and raising the legs too high, decreasing tension in the abdominal muscles. Exercise number 6. Ankle circles. This apparently simple movement has a profound impact on peripheral circulation. The ankles are critical points where blood frequently accumulates due to gravity, especially in people who spend a lot of time sitting or standing in the same position. When you make circles with your ankle, you're mobilizing not only the blood in the veins, but also the lymphatic fluid that tends to accumulate in the extremities, causing swelling. The circular movements activate smaller stabilizer muscles like the posterior tibialis, the long and short fibularis, and the intrinsic foot muscles, which are rarely worked in traditional exercises. This activation improves joint mobility and strengthens the entire ankle support structure. To execute, sit comfortably in a chair with your feet supported on the floor. Lift one foot about 2 to 4 inches from the ground. Make wide circles with your ankle, first clockwise, imagining you're drawing a large circle in the air with your toes. Complete the movement in the full range possible without causing discomfort. After 10 circles, reverse to counterclockwise. The movement should be slow and controlled, not fast and careless. This exercise can be done discreetly under a work desk, making it perfect for those who spend long hours sitting. It's especially beneficial for people with ankle swelling at the end of the day. The main mistakes to avoid are making very small and fast circles that don't provide real benefit, moving only the toes instead of the whole ankle, and doing the exercise mechanically without paying attention to the range of motion. Do 10 circles in each direction per foot, 2 to 3 times a day. Exercise number 5. Static march. The static march combines the benefit of deep hip flexion with light cardiovascular activation, creating a dual mechanism for circulatory improvement. Each time you lift your knee to hip height, you're compressing the abdominal veins and opening the femoral artery, in addition to intensely activating the hip flexor muscles like the iliopsoas the rectus femoris, and the tensor fasciae lati, as well as the thigh muscles. This alternating movement creates a pumping effect that pushes blood from the legs back to the heart much more efficiently than simply standing still. Simultaneously, the elevation of heart rate increases cardiac output, making more blood circulate through the entire cardiovascular system. To execute correctly, stand with your feet hip-width apart and your back straight. Alternately lift your knees as if you were marching in the same place, but with emphasis on raising your knee until your thigh is parallel to the floor or as close to that as you can get. Keep your back straight during the entire movement and use your arms naturally, swinging them in opposition to the legs as you would when walking normally. The secret is to maintain a constant rhythm without speeding up too much, focusing on knee height instead of speed. Do 30 to 60 seconds of marching, rest for 30 to 40 seconds, and repeat 3 times. This is a perfect warm-up that gradually increases heart rate and is ideal to do in the morning, right after waking up or after long periods sitting at work. The main mistakes to avoid are leaning your trunk backward when lifting your knee, not raising your knee to adequate height, making the exercise ineffective, doing the movement too fast, losing control and form, and failing to engage the core, allowing the lower back to curve excessively. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having constant access to science-based information is what will make you progress with health in the long term in the world of bodybuilding. Exercise number 4, lying leg raises. The leg raise works against gravity in a unique way that forces the circulatory system to adapt and strengthen. When you raise your leg straight, forming a 45 to 60 degree angle with the floor, you're challenging blood to circulate more intensely in the elevated leg, as the heart needs to pump harder against gravity. When you lower your leg slowly, blood flows more easily back to the heart, creating a vascular training cycle. This exercise intensely works the lower rectus abdominis, the entire anterior chain of the thigh, including the quadriceps and especially the rectus femoris, the hip flexors, and requires core activation for stabilization. To execute correctly, lie on your back on the floor with your legs completely extended and arms at your sides, or with hands under your glutes for additional support. Keep one leg on the floor while you raise the other leg straight until forming a 45 to 60 degree angle with the ground. Hold this position for 2 to 3 seconds, actively contracting the quadriceps of the elevated leg, then lower slowly back to the starting position, without letting your heel touch the floor before starting the next repetition. Alternate legs. The secret is to keep the movement controlled both on the way up and down, avoiding using momentum. Do 10 to 12 repetitions per leg, 2 sets, once a day. This exercise also strengthens the core isometrically, which is essential for good posture and circulation, since adequate posture prevents compression of blood vessels in the trunk. The main mistakes to avoid are using momentum to throw your leg upward, bending your knee during the raise, reducing exercise effectiveness, allowing your lower back to arch excessively from the floor, and lowering your leg too fast, losing the eccentric phase, which is crucial for strengthening. Exercise number 3, ankle pump. This simple movement activates the calf muscle pump extraordinarily effectively without needing to stand, making it accessible for practically anyone. The calf is called the second heart of the body, precisely for its crucial function in pumping blood back to the heart against gravity. When you flex and extend your ankles alternately, you're contracting and relaxing the calf muscles, especially the gastrocnemius and soleus, creating a milking effect on the deep veins of the leg. This compression and decompression movement pushes venous blood that was stagnant back to the heart, improving systemic circulation. To execute, sit comfortably in a chair or lie down on a bed or mat. Keep your legs extended or slightly flexed. Point your toes forward, extending your ankles to the maximum, as if you were stepping on a car accelerator. Then pull your toes toward your body, flexing your ankles, bringing the tip of your foot as close as possible to your shin. Alternate this movement in a rhythmic and controlled manner. You should feel your calf contracting and lengthening with each repetition. The secret is to do the complete movement in the full range possible, not just moving your toes. Do 30 slow and controlled repetitions, 3 to 4 times a day. This exercise is especially useful during long flights, extensive car trips, or after prolonged periods sitting at the office, moments when leg circulation becomes particularly compromised. The main mistakes to avoid are doing very fast and superficial movements that don't adequately activate the muscles, moving only your toes without actually flexing your ankle, and doing the exercise inattentively losing the mind-muscle connection. Exercise number 2, heel walks. This exercise works the muscles of the front part of the leg in a way that rarely happens in other movements, creating a muscular balance essential for circulatory health. The anterior tibialis, the muscle that runs along the front of the shin, is frequently neglected but plays a crucial role in venous return from the front part of the leg. When you walk supporting only your heels with your toes elevated, you're intensely strengthening this muscle, which improves blood flow in veins that would otherwise remain stagnant. This exercise also works ankle and foot stabilizer muscles, improves balance and proprioception, and prevents shin splints, that characteristic pain in the front part of the leg that many runners and walkers experience. To execute correctly, stand near a wall or surface where you can support yourself if necessary. Lift your toes and the front part of your foot from the floor, supporting yourself only on your heels. Keep your legs as straight as possible without locking your knees. Walk forward, taking short and controlled steps, keeping your toes pointing upward during the entire path. The secret is to maintain balance without excessively leaning your trunk backward. Walk for 20 to 30 steps, or 49 to 65 feet. Rest, and repeat 2 to 3 times. This exercise is challenging at first, but extremely effective. If you feel too much challenge in balance, do it near a wall and touch lightly with one hand for stabilization. The main mistakes to avoid are leaning your trunk too far back, trying to compensate for imbalance, taking steps that are too long, making you lose control, letting your toes drop during the walk, and doing the movement too fast without maintaining proper form. Exercise number 1, glute bridge. This exercise is extraordinary for circulation because it simultaneously activates 3 of the largest muscle groups in the legs: glutes, hamstrings, and calves. When you execute the bridge, you're creating an intense contraction that compresses the pelvic veins and posterior thighs, generating a powerful pumping effect that propels large volumes of blood back to the heart. The gluteus maximus is the largest muscle in the human body, and when you contract it strongly at the top of the movement, you're mobilizing an impressive amount of blood flow. Additionally, the inverted position temporarily facilitates venous return through gravity's action. This exercise primarily works the gluteus maximus, the hamstrings, the spinal erectors in the lower back region, and secondarily, the calves and core. To execute correctly, lie on your back on a mat with your knees bent and feet supported on the floor, hip-width apart. Arms should be at your sides with palms down. Press your feet against the floor and lift your hips toward the ceiling, intensely contracting your glutes until forming a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. Don't excessively arch your lower back. At the top of the movement, squeeze your glutes with maximum force and maintain this contraction for 3 to 5 seconds. Descend in a controlled manner back to the starting position without letting your hips completely touch the floor before the next repetition, maintaining constant tension. The secret is in the intense voluntary contraction of the glutes at the top, not just mechanically lifting your hips. Do 12 to 15 repetitions, 2 to 3 sets, once a day. This exercise also strengthens the lower back and improves posture, which indirectly benefits circulation by avoiding compression of vessels in the trunk caused by poor posture. The main mistakes to avoid are excessively arching your lower back instead of using your glutes, not lifting your hips high enough, reducing range of motion, pushing with your toes instead of your heels, taking emphasis off the glutes, and descending too fast, losing the eccentric phase. Now let's go to the bonus exercise that further enhances all the benefits you just saw. Bonus exercise, calf raises. If you implemented all the previous exercises in your routine, this bonus movement will be the final touch to maximize both circulation and leg strength. The calf is literally the second heart of the body, and this is not just a poetic term. With each calf contraction, especially of the soleus muscle located in the deep part, the veins are compressed and blood is propelled upward against gravity toward the heart. In people with weak calves, blood tends to accumulate in the legs, causing varicose veins, swelling, and that feeling of tired legs at the end of the day. This exercise primarily works the gastrocnemius, the superficial and visible portion of the calf, and the soleus, the deep portion that is even more important for venous return. To execute with maximum effectiveness, position yourself on a step with the front part of your feet supported and heels suspended in the air. Hold on to something stable for balance. like a railing or wall. Lower your heels as much as possible to completely stretch your calves, feeling an intense stretch. From this stretched position, rise up on your toes as high as you can, contracting your calves with maximum force at the top. Maintain this contraction for 1 second, then descend in a controlled manner back to the stretched position. Execution on a step is crucial as it allows much greater range than doing it on flat ground, which means greater muscle activation and better results. A valuable tip is to vary foot position to hit all portions of the calf. Do one set with feet parallel, another with heels together and toes open, and another with toes together and heels open. Do 15 to 20 slow and controlled repetitions, 3 to 4 sets, 4 to 5 times per week. In addition to improving circulation, strong calves are fundamental for body balance, especially in older people, helping prevent falls that can have serious consequences. The main mistakes to avoid are not descending completely, losing the initial stretch, which is fundamental, using momentum instead of muscular control, not rising completely on your toes, reducing contraction, and doing the movement too fast without feeling the muscles working. The calf is a muscle with predominance of slow twitch fibers, which means it responds better to longer sets with more repetitions. If you enjoyed this and want to also discover how to strengthen your legs using exclusively isometric positions that you can do at home, using your own body weight, we've left a video appearing right now on the screen showing better each one of them. Don't miss it. Thank you for watching until here, and God bless you, my friend.